Have you ever wondered what it takes to challenge the status quo of a traditional industry? Well, today I want to dive deep into the world of legal tech, an arena that has long been ripe for innovation and yet arguably resistant to change. And I say arguably because I think it had that reputation before, but this is changing now. And today I'm joined by Kira Unger. She is the co-founder and CEO of a company called PocketLaw, and she's taken on the formidable challenge head on, and alongside her childhood best friend, she embarked on a journey to digitize the legal industry and leveraging AI to transform how legal services are delivered. But how does one navigate the unique dynamics of starting a SaaS company with a lifelong friend? What does it mean to bring technological innovation to an industry known for its conservatism? And most importantly, how is PocketLaw cutting through the noise to reduce legal costs for businesses while enhancing efficiency and reliability? Because at a time where so many businesses are looking at doing more with less, I think every single tech project now is under close scrutiny for the business value and ROI that it delivers. So today I invite you to join me as we uncover the layers of digitizing legacy industries, the intersection of AI and law, and also, of course, the evolving role of legal teams in the face of technological advancement. But before we get today's guest on, I need to pay the bills. We've got a huge podcast hosting fee to pay for when we're releasing 30 episodes a month. And this month I've partnered with a company called Kiteworks. Now, legacy MFT tools are dated and lack the security that today's remote workforce demands. So companies that continue relying on outdated technology, though, they put their sensitive data at risk. And in a world where digital threats evolve daily, the need for a secure, modern solution has never been more pressing. Well, enter Kiteworks, the beacon of security and efficiency in managed file transfer. And Kiteworks isn't just any MFT solution. With its FedRAMP moderate authorization awarded by the Department of Defense since 2017, Kiteworks sets a new standard for security. And this certification is not just a badge, it's a promise of unparalleled protection for your data, offering a fast track to CMMC compliance and eliminating some of those cumbersome, costly DIY authorization processes that plague so many of the alternatives out there. So please, step into the future of managed file transfer with Kiteworks. You can find out more information at kiteworks.com to get started. That's kiteworks.com to get you started today. So buckle up and hold on tight, because no matter where you're listening in the world, I invite you to join me in Stockholm, Sweden, where Kira is waiting to share her story. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell everyone listening a little about who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. Great to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm Kira Unger, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of PocketLaw. I'm from Stockholm, Sweden. And PocketLaw is a legal management platform that uses AI to allow teams to manage contract and legal workflows in a more efficient, scalable, and user-friendly way by providing them with intuitive self-serve tools, automation, data, and AI.
Well, it's a pleasure having you on the podcast. One of the things I love doing on here is busting a few myths. And I've been doing this for nearly 9 years now, 3,000 interviews almost. And I've spoken to so many people about legal tech over the years. But traditionally, the legal world has had somewhat of a reputation for being resistant to change. So I've got to ask, is that still the case? Have things moved on? And if we go back in time, what would you say are the most significant challenges that you've faced when digitizing a sector traditionally resistant to change, and how were you able to navigate some of those challenges and maybe even unlock a few opportunities along the way? Can you share that story with me?
Yes, absolutely. And Neil, you're very right. Of course, it's been challenging to disrupt an industry that, as you say, historically has been quite resistant to change. However, though, we've noticed that I think we've seen a shift, and I think we've entered into a new era of legal, which is very exciting to be part of. Going back to how we first got into the industries, that I was used to work as an M&A lawyer at one of the Nordics' leading business law firms. And at the firm, I witnessed how every company that we work with in every single transaction all faced the same challenges and made the same mistakes. And what they all had in common was that they used multiple unconnected legal software solutions, or they relied entirely on manual processes. And it was very, very painful manual and costly for these teams. And meanwhile, like Olga, my co-founder, she was part of McKinsey Digital Labs. So she got exposed to traditional industries going through digital transformations. So when we kind of exchange ideas and experiences, that's when we dived into more into the legal tech space. And some of the challenges that we noticed was that when it comes to legal in business, there's a prevalence for manual processes and disparate tools used for legal work. So many businesses still cling on to outdated processes using email exchange, manual workflows, Word, and so on. And many have tried to use some tools to solve parts of the problem. And then the second challenge that we noticed was that there is a lack of experience, both in seeing the benefits of using technology in your daily work, but also the lack of experience of actually buying the software. And this leads to lack of confidence and in some cases, poor planning of change management, resulting in, failed adoptions or implementations and so on. And the third problem we noticed was that how the problem is being approached. So what we've seen is that both lawyers and legal tech vendors often approach the problem in the wrong way. So they think of things as legal problems rather than business challenges and business opportunities, right? So this leads to lack of involving the right stakeholders in the early stages of finding your tech solutions. And this results in lack of understanding of, the wider businesses needs and how they can do things better. I mean, because legal is not like only supposed to be managed in a silo. On the contrary, legal is something that should run smoothly across the entire organization in sales, finance, marketing, HR, and so on. But first generation legal solutions were typically built by legal teams for legal teams. So we saw a big opportunity when we looked into the legal tech market back in 2018 to build PocketLaw with a revolutionary approach to legal software, recognizing the need for a comprehensive legal tech platform that addresses the challenges faced by teams every day and that are incredibly easy to implement and rolled out in any team in the organization. Also, I guess when it comes to, and this way, we were able to enable in-house teams to automate, standardize, saving them huge amounts of time and allowing them to transition from being more of a perceived bottleneck and a reactive support function to a team that can facilitate opportunities across the organization. And also enabling the legal teams to increase the autonomy in business team by providing them with intuitive self-serve tools, essentially eliminating bottlenecks, driving productivity, reducing human errors, and increasing overall productivity in the team. So our mission from the start has always been to transform legal work for the world's teams. And it's been an incredible, exciting journey, although, of course, challenging. But I guess that's also the reality, right? That the bigger the challenge, the bigger the opportunity. And we can't control what challenges we will face. So we must focus on what is within our control and recognize the hurdles ahead, tackle them proactively, and make sure that we can turn challenges into our advantage.
100% with you. And something else we've got to mention, of course, especially with this being a tech podcast, is AI. I think it was about 12 months ago, AI or generative AI was able to outperform lawyers in passing the bar exam. And then there's that ability to sift through thousands and thousands of documents quicker and more accurately than some in the legal industry. So in the context of AI's rapid advancements, I'm curious, you're someone right in the eye of the storm here. How do you see it reshaping the legal industry, and what steps should legal professionals take to, yes, embrace AI, but also address FOMO, fear of messing up, and ensuring that accuracy and reliability in their services, because that is paramount in this industry, isn't it? It's not something that you can take a gamble on.
Yes, absolutely. And naturally, I share your excitement with the recent advancements in AI. It's been a game changer for us as a company and for the industry as a whole. I've never believed that AI or technology will replace lawyers or in-house teams.
Yeah.
But lawyers and in-house teams using AI will replace those that don't. and we founded PocketLaw. When we founded PocketLaw in 2018, we received actually a grant from the Swedish government of £200,000 to start an AI-first legal tech company because of this, strong conviction that AI can really augment the capabilities of any team and empowering you to do things that just wasn't humanly possible before. So by using AI, you can do things with a consistent speed and efficiency, with higher consistency, liberating you from, repetitive and tedious work. And essentially, you'll see a significant increase in productivity in your entire team if you adopt the right technology and in the right way. So an example is that we had a customer that had spent the whole morning reviewing a contract to figure out some inconsistencies that they'd found. And then they used instead Play, which is our AI assistant. And instead of hours, they figured out the problem in 3 seconds.
Wow.
So this is an example of doing something that used to take hours that can be done in seconds. And I think it just doesn't make sense to do legal work in any other way. However, though, to your point on accuracy, that's, of course, incredibly important when it comes to legal work. More important than probably in most other industries, to be honest. And there is a lot of legacy software in the market that really struggles with accuracy. The reason for this is primarily that they've developed the solutions on top of their own algorithms instead of using large language models, which has only ever been available in the past a little bit more than a year. So if I'd give any advice to legal professionals or teams out there looking for a solution, an AI solution that could augment the capabilities of their team and speed up their productivity, it's really to choose a vendor that uses state-of-the-art technology and large language models so that you can ensure that they're building products with high accuracy and reliability. Then the second thing would be, software is really useless if no one can adopt it. So make sure that you choose a solution that's very intuitive and user-friendly so that any team in your organization can use it with confidence. And then I guess the last thing would be we're in this new era of technology. So embracing AI isn't really a choice. It's an opportunity that's too great to miss out on. So it's time to shed all apprehension and just welcome this change and do it together with do it in a way that can define the next chapter in your career.
And if we just take a step back from the technology for a moment, before you came on the podcast, I did a little research on you because I always like to find out a little bit more about the origin story of my guests and how they got started in the world of tech. And I noticed that you started a business with a childhood friend, which feels quite unique. So can you tell me a little bit more about how that relationship might have influenced the foundation and growth of PocketLaw? And any advice you'd give to anybody else out there that might be listening, considering entering into business with close personal friends or family? And has your friendship survived over the years working in this high-pressure environment?
Yeah, no, I love talking about this because I could not imagine doing this journey without Olga.
Yeah,
she's always been, since I was very young. So we've known each other since I was 7 years old. She's been the source of strength and motivation for me. And I 100% believe that our relationship has been a bedrock of PocketLaw's foundation and growth. And we've always had a strong relationship. She's actually, to me, she's more of an older sister than a friend. And, our shared history and kind of the understanding and trust that we've built up over the years, I think has been critical in helping us navigate the complexities of building a successful company in the way that we've done it, and being able to maintain the confidence, determination, and resilience over time as you face different challenges and in the journey. And actually, I think one of the things that I'm most proud of is that when we face some additional challenges, I think you always believe that you can always believe that you have a strong relationship, but it's not until you're tested. It's tested that you'll know for sure. And last year we had to go through some really tough decisions and challenges as we scaled the business. And I think handling those And seeing how we handle those together is, to me, a really strong belief, strong testament of our relationship. So, but for those entering, if I'd give any advice, and, I get this question a lot, actually, the advice I'd give to founders or people thinking about starting a business with their friend or a partner. And I think my advice would be, find someone who really complements you and someone that you can trust and work with over time, because the journey that you're starting on is probably going to be quite long and full of trenches. And then you want someone who can be a strong support and ally on that journey. The one thing to do is to make sure that you align on goals and expectations and potential challenges before starting the company, so that you can make sure that you have the same view of how you're going to build this business before actually building it or starting to build it. So that's going beyond just start signing a shareholders agreement, would be to actually list down the things that you think are important and the goals that you have for the business long term. Then secondly, we always make sure that we have regular one-to-ones that are, open, honest, and transparent, and at least one time per year, really make sure that you calibrate, because your roles and the job changes so fast as you scale the company. So it's important to have a check-in where you make sure that you're still in alignment and the things that you want to do together. And then lastly, we just, of course, make sure that you have a healthy balance between your personal and professional life, which can be challenging sometimes, particularly when you love work. And there's so many interesting things to talk about. So that's the advice I'd give. And really, recognize and leverage each other's strengths and different capabilities and experiences. That's really allowed us, I think, to be a quite unique match for building a company. Is the different backgrounds and experiences and personal traits that we also have and share.
Wow. And I just love the journey that you've been on here. It's absolutely incredible. And so much has changed over the years since you started. And more recently, of course, we've got things like the rising inflation and escalating business expenses. So I've got to ask, how were you at PocketLaw adapting and positioning yourself as a solution for helping to cut legal costs by leveraging technology? And for anybody listening, on the lookout for your services, any examples of how technology is making legal services more affordable and ultimately more efficient for businesses?
Yes, I think particularly in the legal space, there's an interesting momentum in the market at the moment, because of course, legal costs are, notorious, and legal teams are often quite unfairly seen as a cost center, while adopting technology to avoid overhiring and ensuring, increased productivity and de-risk processes has become critical. But there's also an increased demand from the legal teams themselves. And this is really, so what is interesting is that currently there is an increased, so the legal landscape is becoming increasingly complex. And at the same time, the business demand is increasing and there's a pressure to cut costs. So legal teams are asked to do essentially tons more, but with less than ever before. Why adopting technology is, of course, has become paramount for these teams. And I think our approach to cost cutting goes even further than the promise of ROI or return of investment. So we believe that these days you need to prove the cost of inaction and real savings of using our technology. And I'll give you an example. So we had a customer that had missed 3 office leases being renewed last year, costing them several hundreds of thousands of pounds. And we also consistently see customers missing software renewals for tens of thousands of pounds as well. So if there's only on one occasion, it's a mistake. But if there's a pattern, you need to treat it as a real cost. And that's a really difficult cost to budget for. So that's when you have a cost of inaction that you need to deal with. So with PocketLaw, the way that we tackle this is that you can streamline contract workflows using automation. You can empower every team in an organization with intuitive self-serve tools. So allowing them to do work more autonomously, eliminating bottlenecks and so on. You can review and mark up contracts using AI-driven playbooks for negotiations and cutting time on contract negotiations significantly. You can use a centralized AI-driven repository, which is a way to give you full visibility of all your contractual obligations, risks, and deviations. You can also use discovery solutions, so that are AI-powered search for problems and discovering solutions to different problems that you face. So most of these products means that you can do tasks that previously took you hours, maybe even days, in minutes. And to me, it just doesn't make sense to do legal in any other way. Because this way, you'll be able to, automate away a lot of the work, free up time in your team for more high-value work. You can delegate things more internally, but while maintaining control. So actually decreasing the risk of human errors and increasing the quality. You can also shift more legal work in-house by increasing the knowledge and autonomy in your teams. And essentially, and one of the most important points is also to free up capacity of your senior legal team so that they're able to drive more strategic business decisions. So these are just examples of all the benefits that you'll see, which will increase productivity, efficiency, happiness in the teams, but also cut real costs. And one of our customers, Secret Escapes, said that PocketLaw provided their business with the self-serve tools that allows the legal team to have capacity for more high value work. So the question.
Yes. Yeah, perfectly. Yeah. And during the conversations, or the many conversations that I've had on this podcast with people throughout the industry, one of the things that I've seen as well is the role of general counsels and legal teams is rapidly evolving, often driven by the increasing demands to do more with less. Of course, that's something that a lot of businesses are focusing on now. So again, how have you seen technology, particularly solutions like PocketLaw, empowering these teams to meet these new expectations and drive digitization within their organization? Because it's quite a tricky balance, isn't it? Everyone wants to adopt AI, they want to adopt the latest technologies, be more efficient, but equally they've got budget constraints at the same time. So what are you seeing here?
No, absolutely. It's an incredibly exciting time for legal teams and for general counsels. And as you said, the experience, I think they're going through a big shift at the moment, and I have been doing so for a while. And I think it's a huge opportunity for these teams to become like a real business partner for the company that they work for. Because it's an interesting time for legal teams across the world, really, where the regulatory landscape is becoming more complex, business demand is increasing, and all while you need to consistently cut costs. So this is why making sure that your teams are really tech-enabled, data-driven, and AI-powered becomes paramount. And because the only way to truly cut costs whilst making sure that you can proactively defend the company is to adopt technology. And I think that's why we've seen this incredible momentum in legal technology. Solutions like PocketLaw enable in-house teams to automate most of their standardized workflows, including everything from creating, negotiating, and signing your contracts, as well as having one centralized place for legal intelligence, saving them huge amounts of time and allowing them to transition from being a perceived cost center and support function to an opportunity facilitator that proactively defends the company. And they can also use technology to enable teams to enable legal platforms is also a way for legal teams to increase their autonomy in business teams by empowering them with intuitive self-serve tools, automation, data, and AI. And this way they can eliminate friction in the business, they can eliminate bottlenecks, drive productivity, reduce human errors, and making collaborations across the organizations more seamless than ever before. So this way you can avoid unknown costs from legal risks that you have in the company. You can also avoid mistakes that happen by by using technology, you can avoid mistakes that happen regularly that will be very costly.
And as I said earlier, you've been on an incredible journey, and I love how you've developed a SaaS platform specifically designed for the legal industry. And I'm curious, any unique advantages or challenges that you've experienced along the way? And ultimately, how has it enabled you at PocketLaw to make yourself stand out in this highly competitive space? Anything you can share around that, and what makes you different from other solutions out there?
Yeah, so Olga and I brought a big amount of first-hand experiences from our respective careers. So Olga with a background as a management consultant focusing on digital strategies, and me being an M&A lawyer and being exposed to many teams dealing with legal challenges. So I think we really understood both the impact of digital transformation as well as the nuances of the legal world, which gave us fairly unique advantage, I think, to tailor PocketLaw to address specific pain points. And our vision with PocketLaw has always been to build one system for legal, leveraging AI and large language models and designed for every user. And how we are different is that we are the only truly end-to-end legal platform in the market, offering a complete suite of products. And while many legacy tools struggle with accuracy on their AI products, the accuracy of ours are industry leading. And finally, I think we have the by far most intuitive and user-friendly solution in the market, which make it possible for any team to adopt PocketLaw really, really fast. And we have customers saying that, it feels like this product has been built for us. So I think this holistic approach and the deep understanding of the pains of our users has allowed us to build PocketLaw in a revolutionary way and benefiting teams in ways that is quite unique.
Love that. And as we look towards the future, one of the things that attracted me to you is this collaboration between AI and human legal experts. Because I always say on this podcast every day that technology works best when it brings people together. And I also think in your situation here, I think AI works best when it complements rather than competes with those legal teams. So if I was to ask you to look into a virtual crystal ball, how do you envision that future collaboration between AI technologies and human legal experts? And also, of course, what measures do you think are necessary to ensure that this new synergy enhances the quality of legal services while also maintaining things like ethical standards and trust? It's the less exciting things, but it's equally so important, isn't it, to the industry?
Definitely, Neil, and I agree with you. I see AI as a powerful technology to augment human capabilities rather than replacing it. And when I look into the future, I think it's never been as hard as it is now to predict what will happen, given the speed of the development, I think has taken everyone by surprise. So I think there's a huge responsibility on both workplaces as well as universities to ensure that we have a human-centered approach to AI and apply critical thinking of potential, societal changes as a result of these technological advancements. And I think when it comes to the legal world, it's important to choose a software that ensures that your teams can maintain those ethical standards and trust in an efficient way, because I don't think there's a way of stopping people from using this technology. So you rather have them using it in a controlled environment.
And given the regulatory complexities of the legal industry, for any founders or business leaders listening to our conversation out there, I've got to ask, how do you personally and your partner here, how do you balance innovation with compliance, particularly in so many different legal jurisdictions? Again, I would imagine it is a huge nightmare and a real balancing act. But anything you could share around how you manage this?
Absolutely. So in the legal landscape, compliance is, of course, non-negotiable. And it's complex to maintain that standard when you're operating across multiple jurisdictions and territories. And so and that's one of the main reasons why we started PocketLaw as well, to provide businesses with a solution that makes it easier to scale legal services across the markets that you do operate as a business. So how we've navigated this personally is, as we've built the product, we have thought about the ways that we could make this more streamlined and efficient. And then we have provided those tools and those solutions to our customers. So I think it's been a big responsibility for us and our team to find the right partners in local markets so that we could ensure compliance across the markets and jurisdictions that we do operate. And when it comes, so again, never compromising on compliance when it comes to innovation. However, I think currently in Europe, there is almost an obsessive lawmaking. And what we need to also consider is the risks that we will fall behind other countries in the world if we restrict businesses too much when it comes to innovation. So, for example, with AI, as an example, when it comes to AI legislations, AI is treated quite generally, whereas there are, of course, many subdomains to AI. So I think that's an important thing to consider for Europe as we continue to see technological advancements and breakthroughs.
And I think that's an incredibly powerful moment to end on. So thank you so much for sharing your insights today. But before I let you go, this is the point of the podcast where I ask you to leave one final gift to everyone listening. And that is a book that means something to you that we can add to our Amazon wish list, or a song that maybe it's your power song, whatever it is. All I'm going to ask is, what would you like to leave everyone listening with today and why?
So what I'd like to leave everyone with is my number one favorite book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. So this is a book that's had a huge impact on me personally and professionally. And it's a book that goes through the 7 habits for sustained and lasting success in both your personal and professional life. And it includes stories, examples, and practical exercises that you can use to empower and inspire you to effectively lead yourself, influence, engage, and collaborate with others, and continuously work on your fundamental characteristics and renew your capabilities. And if I may, instead of a song, I would like to also name my second favorite book, which is Outliers.
Yes, great book, isn't it? Yes.
Malcolm Gladwell.
Malcolm Gladwell, yeah.
But instead of naming my favorite song, I will name my second favorite book, and it's a book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and it's an incredibly powerful book that leaves you with many thoughts and insights. So highly recommend both of them.
Yeah, it is a cracking book. I've recently read that one myself. Well, I will get them both added to our Amazon wish list. And for people listening, just wanting to find out more information about PocketLaw, maybe they want to ask your team a question or even connect with you online, where would you like to point everyone listening?
Your easiest way to reach me is probably on LinkedIn, where my handle is just Kira Unger.
Fantastic. Well, I will add a link to your LinkedIn and also to the PocketLaw website so people listening can find you nice and easily today. And we've covered so much in a short amount of time, from starting a SaaS company with your childhood friend, transforming the legacy industry with technology, and also discussing AI, its impact on the legal industry, and putting business legal costs with tech and new tech along the way as well. Fantastic journey you've been on, and I know it's going to continue to evolve, so I'd love to stay in touch with you, see how things continue to reshape the industry over the next few years. But more than anything, just thank you for sharing your story today.
Thank you so much, Neil, and thank you for having me.
So as we wrap up today's conversation with Kira, I think it's clear that the journey of transforming a legacy industry is both challenging and rewarding. And PocketLaw, for me, stands at the forefront of this transformation. And I love how they're redefining the legal landscape through automation, data and AI. And I think it was Kira's insights, though, into founding a company with her childhood friend, overcoming that fear of messing up and leveraging technology to empower legal teams. Truly inspiring stuff. And as we do look forward to the future where AI augments human capabilities, complements teams, I think it's evident that solutions like PocketLaw are not just about efficiency, though. They're also about enabling a more strategic, proactive legal function. So a huge thank you to Kira for sharing her vision, her experiences with us today. And to each and every one of you listening, how do you see technology reshaping industries that may have previously had a reputation for being resistant to change? And have you experienced the direct impact of legal tech in your professional world? Please, I invite you to share your thoughts and join the conversation by emailing me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, just @Neil C. Hughes, nice and easy to connect with. Connect with me, tell you what you thought of today's episode. If you've got any questions, if you want to come on the show, all that stuff, send me a quick DM. And of course, I will return again tomorrow. We'll tackle a completely different industry, a completely different technology, and I invite you to join me again tomorrow. But until next time, this is Neil Hughes signing off from Tech Talks Daily. Remember, stay curious, stay informed, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Speak with you all tomorrow.